Okay.
Well, it's 5 after. Maybe we'll start to honor your presence here on time.
Nice.
So welcome to the program of the Immaculate Heart Community Environmental Commission. I'm Angie Dixon, a member of the Immaculate Heart Community, and my colleague, who I will introduce later, is here also, Patty O. Just wave your hand, Patty. Did we lose Patty already?
No, she's here, but she put her picture on. She's
Oh, okay. There you go. We will guide you through the Bright Action program, which is a tool designed to reduce your carbon emissions in the comfort of your home or your apartment. As is our custom, we begin with a land acknowledgement. We, the Immaculate Heart Community, want to acknowledge the sacred land that we stand on as stewarded by the San Gabriel Tongan tribe. We are grateful for their generosity and graciousness to us. We are so grateful that you've taken this time to be here today. And as we begin, I invite you to take a breath and to try to arrive as fully as you can. So that you can explore the Bright Action program, which is a simple, powerful way for us to live our care for the earth as a sacred practice. This gathering is about learning, grounding ourselves spiritually, and imagining what's possible when a community chooses to act together with intention and love. Now, I would like to share with you a little bit about the Immaculate Heart Community for those of you who don't know us. The Immaculate Heart Community is welcoming. We're about open spaces for every person to encounter truth, equity, justice, and peace. We seek this through spiritual deepening, shared learning, creative expression, and actions that honor the earth and all beings who dwell in it. In 1968, after enduring harm at the hands of church authorities, our sisters, then a religious community, chose a path of integrity and courage. They stepped away and reformed as a faith-based 501c3, carrying forward their call in freedom and fidelity. More than 55 years later, we continue to live from that same spirit of resilience, contemplation, and service. If you feel drawn to our story or wish to explore opportunities for membership, we invite you to visit our website, immaculateheartcommunity.org. I always have to get that invitation in there. And now join me as we will begin with a prayer for sacred stewardship. Feel free to mute yourselves. Spirit of life and all creation, we pause in gratitude for the gift of this earth, entrusted to our care across generations. When the weight of climate change feels heavy, reminds us of the wisdom of our traditions carry, that small, faithful actions have power, especially when we move together in community. May this Bright Action tool become a pathway of hope for us, a daily practice of tending, protecting, and restoring. Let our choices reflect stewardship, justice, and deep reverence for the world we share. Strengthen our resolve, steady our hearts, and guide us as we walk this sacred work side by side. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
So now we begin with why this matters. Next slide. We know this, the science. Climate commitments are far behind when they need to be even stronger. But we also know something hopeful. People want to help. They want to take action. So what's missing is clear, an accessible way to do that. Collective individual action is one of the most powerful levers we have. When households reduce emissions together, the impact is measurable and meaningful. And as a spiritual community, we are uniquely positioned to lead with values, compassion, and courage. Bright Action, next slide, is a climate engagement platform that helps individuals and organizations learn climate solutions, take meaningful steps, and measure their impact. It's simple, accessible, and grounded in behavioral science. It helps us turn intention into action and action into measurable change. Next slide, how it works for individuals. For individuals, it offers educational modules on climate solutions, personalized action plans, dashboards to track your progress, team challenges, and celebrations of milestones. And it's designed to be encouraging, not overwhelming, and you choose the actions that fit your life. How it works for organizations? For communities like ours, Bright Action provides tools to launch engagement campaigns like this, to track participation, to measure greenhouse gas emission reductions, and to share stories and build momentum. This helps us see our collective impact and strengthens our leadership in climate and environmental justice. Next slide. Most important to me is the spiritual grounding at the heart of the program, because we know that reducing carbon is not just a technical task. It's a sacred practice. It's a way of honoring creation with intention, reverence, and love. Every action we take becomes a prayer for the healing of the earth. Every choice becomes an expression of our values. Next slide, we have some example actions through the Bright Action Support Program. We can reduce home energy use. We can shift transportation habits. We can improve waste reduction and adopt clean energy. Supporting local climate initiatives. These are everyday choices that add up, especially when we do them together. Next slide. Here I'd like to now introduce you to Patty O, the director of the Challenge Cool-Irvine program here in Irvine, California. Now, I've worked with Patty since the inception of this home-based environmental program here in Irvine. And Patty will demonstrate how you can assess the program, access it, and how its many features will assist us. Welcome, Patty. Patty has her own slideshow.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you all for welcoming me into this wonderful community. I'm excited to share about a tool that Angie has really been able to use in her community and her household to kind of guide her on her climate sustainability journey. So I lead a Orange County-based nonprofit, and we do programs on sustainable living. And I'll just kind of be walking you all through how to get started with an account. And this platform, while it may seem a little technical because it's online, don't worry, it's very forgiving and flexible. And once you have logged a couple tasks, it becomes a lot easier. But it's really meant to be sort of a tool to kind of guide you through different sustainability topics. So let me show you the website that you would go to, and I'll share my screen here. And I know we'll probably follow up with the links and all that, right, Angie, afterwards?
Yes.
Yeah. And I will also, well, Angie's group has a dedicated group. So we're going to use that so that we can all join the Immaculate Heart group. I'll put that in the chat, but as I said, we will likely email this to you as well.
Yeah.
So once you get into the site, it's going to ask you to create an account. This is the home site, and there's a little button down here that says create one. And when you click create an account, if you have a Gmail account and you know your credentials, you can sign in that way, or you could just sign in creating an email and a password, right? And so if you are not an Irvine resident, you just put the city that you currently live in, and it's okay. You can still be part of Angie's Immaculate Heart group. So a lot of it is pretty standard. You just go through the prompts that it asks you. And it says, you know, what city do you live in? What state? You just go through and answer those questions. And it'll take you to the next prompt. We covered that part already. It'll ask you to create a password, just like other sites where you create a new account. And as you can see, I put my email, and then it tells you the strength of your password. You click the little button saying you're not a bot, agree to the privacy terms, do the little check mark, and then create the account. Now, it's going to ask you a couple quick questions. It's going to ask you to name your household. And you don't have to memorize this. As you're going through the account, it's going to ask you all these prompts, and you just answer. So you create a household name to make it a little fun. You know, sometimes like my dog's name is Murdoch. Sometimes I like to say, this is really Murdoch's household. You put your city, put your name, and then it's going to ask you, you know, what your priorities are, and you can drag these boxes with your mouse. And don't worry, these are all just for the system to help you tailor it to your liking or what your priorities are. So if your priority is saving money, or if it's to make an impact, you just kind of move that to the top. And then you just click finish. And this is the site. This is what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and sign in to my account so I can show you. I just put in my email and password, hit login. And this is the home screen. You could see right here, home is highlighted, and I haven't started on any actions. But as I start to do actions, it will estimate about how much money I saved, how much tons of CO2 I saved. So we're all in the Immaculate Heart group. And if I go into here, I could see some of our friends have already signed up for an account. And this is sort of the home page for the group. You can start a conversation here. Like I noticed Angie posted a comment here. Congratulations, Michelle and Pam, for finding your way to this website. And then as a group, it shows our impact. You know, it aggregates all our activity, and it's just a fun way to kind of gamify this. If we look at our fearless leader, Angie, you'll see she has been using this in Irvine. So she has a lot of points because she's been at this for a couple years. She's our shining example of what's possible. But, you know, a lot of this, please don't feel any pressure. You know, a lot of this is a learning tool, and what each individual can do is different. And so start with this to kind of expand and understand the different ways we can live a little bit more sustainably. But you could see Angie's our best case example, and I'm your worst case example because I haven't done anything on this group yet. So once you sign in and have created your account, you're going to see another prompt to complete your profile. And that's to get some customized information. Let me make that a little bigger about your household. For example, if you already have an electric car, your impact is going to be different than somebody who might be driving a gas car. Or if you have a household of 3 versus 1, there's little things like that that the system uses to kind of accurately estimate your carbon offset, how much you're reducing your carbon emissions. So when you get a chance, you do want to make your way through completing this profile. It just asks you different information about your living situation. You can always start it and come back to it. And then the other thing is share your progress. And this is to share your progress with the group so we can all kind of, you know, we won't be able to see too much detail, just, you know, the broad overview, kind of like we've seen Angie's points. And you definitely want to click through these 2 buttons when you have time, once you have created an account. And your group will be housed right here. And you'll see eventually, you know, as the group is doing actions, how much carbon offset we have saved. And why is that important? Well, we know in climate change, all these greenhouse gases that we are emitting is what's leading to the unusually fast warming of the climate. And so one of the big tasks is to reduce those greenhouse gas emissions. Now, the other tabs besides the home screen is the actions. And if we click on actions, they're split by different categories. And if I go to, for example, let's say Be Water Wise, every topic has a little introduction about why it's important. And then this little video right here is a little introduction. So I'll just give you
Welcome to the Be Water Wise action category. Did you know that even though 70% of our planet is covered with water, less than 1% of all water is fresh, drinkable water?
Okay, so that gives you a little bit of an idea. Let me see.
And only 1%.
Whoops. Trying to minimize, there we go. Okay, so every topic has an introductory video and an introductory paragraph. And then there's a bunch of actions associated with this topic. And they can be as simple as taking shorter showers to replacing your lawn with drought-friendly plants. So there's a huge spectrum of activity from simple to complicated. You know, we also have a lot of college students who don't have a lot of ability to make home changes. So the program is designed for anyone from students to renters to homeowners to be able to find some activity that they could do to lessen their impact. So, you know, little things like using the dishwasher. I grew up a little old school and we're used to hand washing. So it's a habit change I had to do to get used to filling up the dishwasher because it's a little more efficient in its water use. So for example, if I click on one of these actions, I'm going to click choose. So there's 2 ways to go in. You could go in here if you want more information. If you already know how to do it, you can click choose. But I'm going to go in just to show you all. So there's a little paragraph. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Obviously, the more complex the action, the higher amount of points and the more water possible to save. It gives you some various helpful tips. And then sometimes there's resource links down here at the bottom to guide you. And I'm going to hit get started, and I'm going to set a goal for myself. I'm going to say by April, I'm going to take shorter showers. So I set that goal. I'm going to reduce, there's 7 days in a week. I'm going to reduce my showers by 5 minutes, which equals 7 times 5, 35 minutes per week. Yes, I have a low flow shower head. So I'm going to hit save. And then when I go back to home, you will see the action that I pledged to do. Let me make that a little bigger here. And when I have completed the action, I'm going to come back to my home page and mark done. And it will say, congratulations, if you keep this habit up on an annual basis, you could save about $130. You could reduce 1,270 pounds of CO2, over 3,000 gallons of water on an annual basis, and 72.8 therms, which is natural gas. And then I might say, I finally managed to fix my habit of long showers. If you want to share to the group. Or maybe you did something more complex and you want to say, hey, I used this contractor and I had a great experience. Or I tried this shop and they had this sustainable product. I see Sheila has a question.
Yes. Hi, Patty. What if you're already taking shorter showers?
Oh, so if you're already doing it, I'm going to go ahead and skip this. I believe they added a way to log. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to undo my action. You can sort of log it as something you already do and just set a goal and then complete it. That's one option. Or there's a button that says, I already do this. That's a great question. Thanks for asking that. Or you could just check mark that you already do this. And the system, I know they recently modified this system to give people credit for things that they're already doing, because, that's a good thing too, right? Okay, so great question. Let me take us back. So back to the home screen, just to see overview. Alice?
I live in an apartment. I know some of us live in apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And this is good for anyone, right? You don't have to own a home.
Yeah,
Right.
you don't. Yeah, because I have students doing it, and there might be some actions you can't do, but there's always a few actions you will be able to do. And when I go to explore actions, let me make that a little bigger. Explore all actions. There's actually renter-friendly actions as well, or youth-friendly actions. So part of what you're doing when you do that whole household profile is you're saying, oh, I'm a renter or I'm a student, and it will kind of tailor the actions based on your circumstance. So that's another great reason to do this profile if you can. Great question. Okay, so now when you go to community, that's the third button here. That's where you see all your group activity. And when I click on, you can find your Immaculate Heart group in My Groups, or even in your homepage, there will be access here. And this is where you can interact with the group. How am I doing on time, Angie?
Oh, you have time. Just go slower with your cursive. I'm trying to not go blind.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, let me see if there were more pictures here that we had discussed. Yeah, so when you share your progress, that's what the button will look like. And That's the household profile. Just some of the questions it asks, how many people live in your household? How many rooms? If, a 1-bedroom versus a single family home with 5 bedrooms is obviously going to give you a different profile. Mary?
Yeah, on the sharing piece,
Uh-huh.
does the share go directly from this program to an email, or how do we have to be on Instagram or some other social media to do the sharing?
So the sharing it's not sharing, for example, a certain activity that you do, kind of like on Instagram. If you share it, you're publishing it to everybody, right?
Mhm.
Here, you're just sharing it with the group and your team lead so that everybody in the group can kind of see what you're doing. For example, if I click on Angie, I could
Mm.
see, okay, she's logged some actions. So it's just to give everybody a top level view in the group.
Okay, so it's within the program itself that the sharing. Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Just
you.
share it. When you share, you're just sharing with the team lead and the group.
Okay.
Great question. Any other questions? Yeah, so once you create your account, remember there's a home screen. Angie, is everybody going to do it sort of individually, or are there going to be meetings?
I'm going to discuss that in a few minutes.
Okay.
We will do it individually, but we have times when we're going to come together if they so choose. Yeah.
Okay, great. And I'm here as a resource. Angie's here as a resource, and I know a few others had been able to create accounts. And so it sounds like there will be time for group activity and sharing and support. Okay, anything else you think I should go over more, Angie?
Did you talk about those little action?
Oh, yeah, we could just take a look at a couple more. We went into Be Water Wise. If we look at, there's
What are
also
some
be,
big actions? I'd be curious about that. I can explore it myself.
oh, sure.
I just am curious.
Yeah,
Ah.
so these are if somebody's in the
Mm.
market for a
Mm.
new car and they're considering electric or solar panels. So these are some of the bigger impact actions.
Thank you.
Yeah, some of these are already in some of the others, but it just categorized it by big actions. Alice?
I just wanted to mention that it says solar panels.
Mhm.
There is a bill before the state of California, and it's a bill that's in half of the states of the United States. And it's called balcony solar.
Mm.
This is something I'm going to be looking at.
Mhm.
It's like one solar panel that you can buy. It's a
Mhm.
portable solar, system. You
Mhm.
stick it out, you plug it in, and you'll be able to get renewable energy. So
Yeah.
that is something that is coming, and I'm
Mhm.
sure it's going to pass because
Mhm.
it passed in Utah, and if it passes in Utah, it can
Mhm.
pass here.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. That's a great initiative. We really have to get away from, oh, it's unsightly or, because in Germany, it's already normal. They just sell it like in their local Home Depot. You don't have to go through. I'm in the same situation. I'm in a townhome and I don't have enough roof space for solar. So for me to be able to just buy a couple of those and put them out, get natural energy from the sun and be able to reduce my electricity bill would be a great benefit. So it really gives options to those of us who can't get solar. Sheila?
Yeah, is this available in an app or we always have to log into the website?
I would say there is a mobile friendly version that you could do, but there's no app. So you can go to the site from your phone. It's probably a little easier on the computer. but I have seen that it does change to a mobile friendly view when you do it from your phone.
Okay. And my other question is there like, can we compare like our group to other groups? You know, how are we doing, or is that available?
Oh, so where Angie is in Orange County, she's going to see OC Orange County region. Depending on your city, I believe I registered as Los Angeles, so it's showing me some LA activity. There was a program, our sister program, that was called Cool LA, and there's also Cool Petaluma. And there's different cities across California that use this, so it will show some comparative info. Not everybody has used it to the extent that Angie has, and some just use it more as a educational tool. So I would say it's just an estimate. You know, I wouldn't say it's very, very scientific, because there's varying levels of people logging the activity. Yeah. And so just to go through a couple more actions, you know, there's a lot on energy, shifting your transportation options, community action, there's disaster preparedness.
BC, eat green and waste less.
Sure.
I mean, that's something we could all do.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. So few people realize that, you know, we make choices 3 meals a day, and how we eat and what we eat can definitely make an impact. So again, there's a little description here. There's a video over here with an introduction to the topic. And there's actions like recycling, compost, eating lower on the food chain, and trying to eat more plant-based, which is healthier for us and healthier for the planet. Trying to buy local when we can, shopping smart, buying less, buying used. When I got my composter, I tried to look at what was available. Some people start gardening projects and they don't finish. So I tried to see, oh, is there anybody getting rid of their composter? Making a meal plan, using reusable bags. So there's a lot of great actions on here that is easy for everybody to do. Sound good? Any other questions before I turn it over to Angie?
Does going to a farm market mean eating locally?
Yes, farmers markets. Yes, absolutely. Definitely closer when, you know, where I'm at, I even have Tanaka Farms that is really close. So farmers markets are great. I always try to support smaller businesses and local businesses when I can. Kate?
Tanaka Farms was featured this morning on KTLA, the baby goat yoga.
Oh, yes.
So that was funny.
Yeah, I believe that might be in their Costa Mesa location. But yeah, that's wonderful. It looks really fun.
It was really cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, that wasn't my question. My question is, I'm up here in LA, so so you said there's an LA version, or you just sign in that you're LA and then it gives you the LA?
Yeah, and you're gonna all create an account using the link Angie gives you so that you are in the Immaculate Heart Community. That LA was because Sheila was asking, oh, can I see what others are doing outside the program? And it will show you just some general estimates. When you're at your home screen, there's your group, there's the LA County region. I was just saying there was a group that used to do it. I don't think they're really using the platform anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Can you recommend a glass water bottle? I hate drinking out of plastic.
Oh, that is I've seen great ones at like Home Goods. What is the main company of Home Goods? I'm drawing a blank.
TJ Maxx.
Yes, I've seen glass bottles there, or you won't see them as much at like Goodwill, because most people use the metal and they're afraid of breaking the glass. I do the same, so I haven't purchased any myself, but my thinking is maybe just one that's kind of used to make like kombucha, those kind of bottles.
Oh, like reuse a bottle that you buy something in.
Yeah, I've done that. I get these jars of chicken soup. We use a couple of those as cups.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about to go, there are the ones that have the lid.
And
But I don't
have one that I could give you. That's
Oh, okay, Catherine.
It has a screw top, and it has I don't know, something on the outside to make it not breakable, but
Yeah, like a rubber.
Yeah, a rubber. Thank
Yeah.
you. I was like, I don't know what it is. I didn't think
Yeah.
of plastic, but yeah, some gray rubber on the outside, but it is glass if you want that one. I don't know how I'd get it to you, but
Yeah. And those are great questions, conversation starters. When you go to the group page right here at conversations, does anybody use glass bottles? And then somebody might be able to chime in. So check the conversation or your email. Sometimes when you get a notification, somebody in the group could be asking a question or sharing something helpful. Mary, did you have another question?
My coffee shop sells things, and they have they're copper water bottles. That are very beautiful. They're very pretty pricey, but they have all kind of claims that this is healthy and kind of natural, da 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 da. But they're metal, they're not glass, but they're lightweight. And so I've thought, maybe I'll ask for that for my birthday. But anybody on the call have any input on that? Is it worth it?
The older we get, the more they find not nanoplastics in our brain. And since no one knows what's happening with the increase in dementia, and no one knows what creates those amyloid plaques or tangles or whatever they call them, a lot of people think we should move away from plastic. Mary, if you find out that the copper doesn't leak into the water or the coffee you put in that jar, I would be glad to hear about it. But I certainly would not be very happy drinking leached copper water. So maybe you could tell us on the next comment what you found out about it.
Oh, Mary, you're on mute.
Yes, I will do some digging into it, but actually it seems as though that's one of the benefits that they claim is that the small amounts of copper are good. And I got in a little conversation at the reception for Tony, and remember that people used to wear or still do wear like copper bracelets for arthritis, that kind of thing. So anyway, but I'll dig into it and send more information, and we can talk about it later when we start up with this.
Thank you.
So Patty, the penultimate slide that you showed both our group and our city. So we would each have a special, an individual page that is sort of our home page. And we would be able to see what's going on in the Immaculate Heart community, how many members are there, the conversation about glass and copper jars would be in that area. But then we would be separated out. I live up in Monterey. We've got Santa Barbara here. We have LA here. We have Orange County. So we'd each be able to see how our cities are doing. So would we be able to see kind of what new practices our Immaculate Heart group was doing, or would we need to, we're not going to see our individual choices that we've made, but we would be able to say, hey, committed to this action this week and found it wasn't that hard to do. And so this is how I do it. I encourage, the rest of you to do it. It would all be little conversations encouraging each other in our community.
Yes.
How it goes?
Yes, yes. And you want to use the link that Angie gives you.
Right.
Join, and that will automatically put you in the Immaculate Heart group. And what you see in that group is different than these regions. These don't really show that much. It just says how many households total. It looks like there is some people talking, and this could be when the LA group was active. So I guess they have some activity similar to the group activity, but most of what you will be engaging in is the Immaculate Heart group.
Right. Talking among ourselves, encouraging each other to do it. And yeah.
Right. Alice?
When I signed up, when I was with Angie, I thought I couldn't put my city, which was Sierra Madre, because then it kicked me somewhere else.
Oh.
So I fibbed and I said I was in Irvine.
Yeah.
But
Alice, you do have to say you're in Irvine, but in your own profile, you'll be able to put your own city. But to get into the website, you have to use Irvine.
Well, they will just put their city because the confusion is you are using the platform under Cool-Irvine. That's what you mean, right, Angie?
Yes.
Yeah. But when you put your profile, you want to just put your own city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can go back and put
Irvine.
Yeah, I mean, I see you in here, Alice. So you are in the group.
I am, but I think I lived in Irvine.
Okay. We can try emailing them and seeing if we could. I wonder if Sierra Madre wasn't an option as a city, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Was that the trouble that you found?
No, I just thought when I put Sierra Madre, it was pushing me somewhere else.
Oh.
So I think if people have, if they can do it, that's great.
Okay.
You can just put what city they're in.
Right, right. Because as you could see, mine says Los Angeles.
Oh, okay.
Because,
so maybe I have to fill out the rest of my profile.
Yeah, I might have to email them about moving you to Irvine. I mean, out of Irvine. So when you all sign in, just put in your city that you're in. You're automatically going to be in Immaculate Heart using Angie's link that she gives you to join. But I don't think it impacts too much. It's just here you're just going to see Orange County instead of LA County.
Okay. And and I'm going to be one of the people that people can actually call, and if you want to, set up a Zoom or do this on the phone with one of us, we will guide you as you sign up.
Great.
That would be super, Alice. So I just took the link that Patty you put in there and opened it up and tried to put in Monterey. And so maybe Monterey isn't registered as a city yet. Maybe that's a possibility.
It should have all the cities all over the US, but you can't find your city. I would just pick the closest one to it. Maybe.
Closest big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
They say it allows Buellton.
Let's see. I was going to discuss this a little bit later in the program, but when Patty, at the beginning, when you sign in, it's going to ask you what city do you live in? And we want to put Irvine there in order to get
they
into.
Can put their own city.
Well, it won't get us to the Immaculate Heart Community site.
It will with your group link.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I tested Los Angeles, and I'm still in the group. Yeah.
Okay. Any further questions for Patty?
So I'm not following where the Angie's group link is.
Yeah. I'm going there now, Mary. I'm going there now. I'll take you there now. Hold on.
Well,
We're going to email a link, and then I also put
Following
it in
that, we sign up and do the things that
Yeah.
you showed earlier.
Right.
Okay.
The link is in the chat room right now. You're welcome to take that down. But in summary, let's talk about why this program works. Bright Action works because it's grounded in behavioral science. It uses gamification dashboards, and collective progress to build motivation. It's data-driven and scalable, which means we could start small and grow across congregations and networks. Next slide. By participating, we can expect increased climate literacy, measurable emissions reductions, stronger community cohesion, enhanced advocacy credibility, and replicable models for other networks. This program helps us embody justice and stewardship. Next slide. Here we were going to take any further questions that you might have. Let me go on then. Our next steps are simple. Join us in launching the Bright Action pilot. We'll walk together, support one another, and celebrate our progress as a community. If you'd like to participate, simply go into the chat room and find the link that takes you to the website. You will be asked to select a city that you live in. And here I thought that you should enter Irvine, but as was corrected by Patty, we could put your own city in, create an account, and join the Immaculate Heart Community group. You'll also find in the chat room the email address and phone number where you can contact Alice or myself to help you if you run into some difficulty getting started. Now, we have scheduled follow-up meetings to keep ourselves pretty excited about the program. Saturday, April 18th and May 16th, both at 4 o'clock. And so when we meet, we can just discuss progress and challenges that you might have and decide where we could go forward with this. So if there are no further questions, we will have a closing reflection. Any further? Mary? Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any way we can meet other than at 4 o'clock? My church meets at 4:30, and I really don't like to miss it. And
Yeah, same here. I'm in the same group, so.
Okay, well that's important. So what would be a better time for you?
1:30, 2.
On a Saturday?
Uh-huh.
And Juliet?
Yeah, probably. So I'm really glad that Anne is here, because Anne is working on our newsletter now. And I think in the next little newsletter, Anne could make a little report about this gathering, saying there was a group that, Angie and Alice had already created. There's X number of people in it. After our meeting, 5 more joined. And we could just talk about some of the changes that different people who joined committed to making and to tracking, and get other community members. I mean, just a little competition going. Alice, I see.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say that you don't just have to join April 18th at, did we say 2?
1:30 or 2.
Okay.
Yeah, one of those.
Angie and I are both available anytime to help you actually set up the account if you have issues, and to help you start. And I'm more than happy to set up like little Zoom sessions individually with anyone, if you want to do this.
Yeah.
And my guess is, as we're, logging into it and we're exploring those little categories, at least the couple of seconds, Patty, that you showed of the one video looked like, oh, we could really learn something new. And then we might put into our chat, whoa, I just committed to doing this because this video, showed me X,
Mhm.
Y, and Z. The rest of you take a look at that.
Mm. Kate, do you think you'll be able to keep joining us to experiment with this pilot?
I'm not sure. I'm with the Bishops' Commission on Climate Change for the Episcopal Diocese here in LA, and I'm
Mhm.
working on a program of carbon neutrality. I like the look of this program. I'd like to look at the website a little bit more. Maybe I'll sign
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
explore it. It's got a lot of great, it's got a ton of great suggestions and helpful prompts and things to get you thinking about all the things you can do. So it's very
Mhm.
wide ranging. But at the
Mhm.
moment, I'm working on a program that's going to take the congregations and churches themselves through a program of carbon neutrality. So
Yeah.
it may apply, but it's not quite right for this, but
Well,
it gets you thinking.
yeah, I think you'll enjoy when you get in there and start exploring. You'll already see the things that you've done, and some of the things are so simple to accomplish that you wonder why you didn't do them before. Yeah, and then since I've been in it for a few years, it takes time to make the changes because some of them are expensive. Putting a heat pump was expensive. But other things, over time, we save our pennies and there is a savings in when you do some of these activities to begin with. So, yeah, think about joining us.
Thank
Well,
you. Yep,
if
this
it,
has been fantastic. Yeah, thank
good.
you.
Any further questions?
Uh,
Yes,
Yes.
I have a
Uh-huh.
question. I thought Patty said we should probably join the Irvine group because that's the one that you're running or in. And then in our individual profile, we can put our city where we live.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Right? Okay. Just wanted to be clear on that. Thanks.
Right. Yeah.
Just to follow up on what Juliet very kindly suggested, I already took notes and pictures for news notes. I do want to mention one thing. I was incorrectly listed as an editor for news notes. I'm not an editor, I'm a contributor. So I send things forward, but obviously the IHC communications people have to make decisions about, space and time. So yes, Juliet, I absolutely will send this forward today. But again, whether it appears, that's a administrative decision. The other thing is, Angie, I think this would make an amazing lunch and learn. And especially if you had on the tables or had on the screen like you did today, people can take notes about what to do and how to do it. I always wish I would walk out of a lunch and learn with a paper in my hand that said, the things to do. Bishop Taylor's, whatever that symposium was that they had materials you could carry away. So if you do this for a lunch and learn, I think for people in person, it'd be really nice, to have a piece of paper you walk out with. So yes, Juliet, I'll do what you suggested.
If we did have a lunch and learn, I would ask people to bring their computers so we could do it right away,
Yeah, well, some of us are dreadful people and use paper, but I do recycle it.
Oh, you're an
Anne,
example.
maybe the strategy to get it into the news notes would be that it's coming from the Environmental Commission.
Oh yeah,
and you're recommending it because you participated in that. Would that be just?
No, I always credit the IHC group that did the work, and I try and put in follow-up information. I'm just saying space is a consideration. That's all. But yes, I will send it forward today.
Thank you. And we can continue this conversation after our closing reflection.
And also, Angie, did you want me to put in a plug?
Yeah, I'm going there. So if there's no further questions, I want to thank Patty O for sharing her experience and dedication to the environmental issues of our time here in Irvine. You've done an amazing job, Patty. Really am so grateful. And thanks to our technical assistant, Alice Druffel, and Dean Camacho. Alice is the chair of our Environmental Commission. Thank you, Alice, for your help today. And Alice has some announcements.
So on April 10th, we'll have our next Lunch and Learn, and it is going to be the climate crisis, how we got here, and action forward. And it's going to have a little bit of the backstory of the climate crisis, early signs, the politicization, where we are now, what we need going forward to really turn it around in Earth's favor. So that's April 10th, Friday, 12 to 1:30, and it's going to be at our Echo Park at the seat of the Episcopal Diocese, and online.
Good.
And then if there's anyone on this call that does not receive the Love Creation Fridays that I post, please feel free to put your name in the chat. All IHM members receive this, but if there's anyone else that would like this, there's a prayer, there is resources or information, and there are actions connected to the climate crisis every Friday.
Yeah. And I'd like to thank you for that, Alice. I find that very helpful.
Thank you, Maria.
Any further questions? Then we'll have a closing reflection. As we close, I invite you to hold a moment of gratitude for the earth, for this community, and for the possibility of healing that emerges when we act together. May our choices reflect our love for creation. May our actions bring hope. And may our community be a light in this moment of climate challenge. Thank you for being here. And I'm going to be on standby if you need any further assistance. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
great
Yeah.
job.
Patty, thank you.
Thank you, Patty.
Pleasure. Great to be here. Nice to
Thank
meet you all.
Patty.
Thank you, Angie.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.